So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Classic video. Now this video is going to be a selection of highlight clips from this year's Halloween event. Now the map that we're on is Bushrangers Run, which was renamed to Blood Rangers Run, and there was a number of Halloween themed creatures out here to hunt. Everything from the usual werewolves that would normally be on Timber Gold trails, to special varieties of the feral pigs, the foxes, axis deer. Everything on this map had some kind of Halloween variant. It's been a really awesome event, and this is basically just going to be my best trophies from this event. And we're starting off with this one. Now this one isn't something really huge. It's a 364.1155 scoring albino werewolf. Now I decided to actually tax this, as this is by far my biggest albino werewolf, and I really did want at least a decent sized one for the lodge. These things look really awesome with the purple eyes and of course that bright white fur, so I'm happy to have at least a decent one now in my event lodge in this game, because yeah, they look pretty awesome. Now, the next werewolf we're going to be taking a look at is one of the common werewolves, but this werewolf was actually my biggest common werewolf ever at 379.0650. Now, my biggest werewolf ever in general is a golden werewolf from last year on Timber Gold Trails that was actually a 384. But I really wanted to have at least one decent one of each variant, so the common, the albino, and of course the gold, in my trophy lodge. So we got the decent albino, and here we have a very good sized common. So this was really cool, and I was super happy. I would have liked to have got a little bit of a bigger one, but 379 is still a pretty huge werewolf, so really happy to actually get that. Now, moving on to the next couple of animals we're going to take a look at, and we have the Halloween hogs. Now, I believe the variant for these is named Wero. It's spelled odd, and that's the best pronunciation I could find for it, but basically they have almost like red tattoos across them. They are really cool looking. And this is the one that's going to end up in my trophy lodge, 1102.1308 scoring. Now, I did actually get one very slightly bigger than this, which we're going to take a look at next, but this one is the one that's going into my trophy lodge, just because the one I got after this wasn't a whole lot bigger. Unfortunately, my luck with the pigs wasn't great. I was really hoping to get one sort of maybe 1150 plus, but I just really didn't have very good luck with the hogs. But I was pretty happy just to have one that was over 1100 score, so that's why I taxed that one to put into the lodge, at least so that I had a decent one. But I then ended up shooting this one, which was just slightly bigger, at 1107.0103, but I didn't tax this one, and I kind of regret not taxing it because I was just hopeful that I would maybe get one that was bigger. Also, this one had a broken tusk, which is kind of interesting and cool, but like I said, the one that ended up in my trophy lodge was the 1102 scoring one, and I'm happy with that. This one doesn't look a whole lot bigger, as it isn't a whole lot bigger, so I'm happy to at least have a decent one in the trophy lodge. Now, you will have just seen the size of the feral goat that ended up charging me here. An absolute beast. Now, my shot wasn't great, so I decided to try and get a couple more shots into it as it ran away, and after tracking it for a little while, I found that it was actually, unfortunately, still alive. The Halloween variants of these different creatures were extremely tough, so I was trying to get a heart shot here just to finish it off, and you see there, it did actually die. It wasn't a heart shot, I don't think, but just finishing it off from the number of shots. I didn't really want to put a headshot into it if I could avoid it, just because it would look better in the trophy shots without a big hole in the front of its head. But you can see not a really long wound time anyway, and we have a 333.4155 scoring feral goat. Now, I was going to be happy with anything over 300, I just wanted something with the bigger style of horns, so this was really awesome. I did have a smaller one previous to this, and when I got this one, I was just super happy. These things look incredible in the Hunter Classic. The big feral goats are awesome, and the sabbatic variant for them for Halloween just looks amazing. It reminds me of like cracked glass. It's just incredible with those bright red eyes, just beautiful. And I was super happy with how this trophy shot turned out as well, showing off that really awesome looking wolfsbane sawn off shotgun. Yeah, super happy with how that turned out. But now, moving on to a clip of one of my favourite animals in this event, the rabbits, or as they've kind of been named by a lot of people, the murder bunnies. These things were hilarious to hunt, and I think really cool looking. In fact, in my opinion, I think these were one of the coolest looking animals in this event. And I believe the name for the variant is Kerbanog. I'm sorry if that's incorrect, but I managed to get this really good size one at 2,390.8073. Now that's actually a really good size one. Tax for the European rabbits is normally over 2,400 from what I could see in the spreadsheets. But for an event one, I was happy enough to tax this. I mean, that's pretty close to that 2,400 mark. And yeah, definitely my biggest European rabbit ever anyway. So I was super happy with that. And just look at how cool these things look. I will put some clips at the end of these animals in the trophy lodge. And honestly, I just think the detail on the Kerbanog rabbits is awesome. Now, this animal in particular was one that took a very long time to track down, and one that I spent countless hours in this event trying to get a decent sized one of, and that is the Ghostaroo. Now you can see here we have a max weight and max score estimate male that I had actually tracked down, and I took a shot there with the Wolfsbane 308, and I knew it must have just been a body hit as it didn't drop. I really wasn't happy about that, and sure enough it was a body hit, but thankfully it really didn't go very far, and then it had led down to expire. So I was just taking a look at it here and once again decided to try and get a heart shot or something rather than trying to put holes in the head for the trophy shot, and a couple more shots actually ended up finishing it off. Now the Ghostaroos once again are an incredible looking model, and here I just had to end up killing a hog that was charging me, so I just ended up clipping that out. But we have a huge 88.2751 scoring Ghostaroo. Now this was it for me. I was happy to not go and hunt these ever again during this event, because these things were seriously hard to track. They spooked so incredibly easily, and they would spook from other things running past them. It was just a nightmare to actually try and get a decent size one. So when I saw that 88 pop up, I was absolutely thrilled. This was the trophy Ghostaroo that I was looking for. And once again, like I said, they just look awesome. And you can't see it as clearly here as you will in the trophy lodge, but they really are just so well detailed and just a beautiful looking model. They did so well with all of these for the Halloween event. It's been really awesome. And now, talking of animals that took me a long time to track down, we have here, by far, the animal that took me the absolute longest to actually track, from the minute I picked up the track to shooting it, wounding it, and eventually killing it. Here we have a pretty huge axis deer. Now, the axis deer in this event are by far my favourite looking of any of the event animals, and I was determined to get one that was over the 200 mark. I wanted a 200 plus so desperately for my trophy lodge. And as you will see, that first shot, I knew he was going to spook, so I took it really quickly and it ended up being a body shot. I was gutted, and it took me, I think it was over an hour and a half to then find him again after that, and it had already been an hour plus of tracking at that point when I ended up wounding him. So for this axis deer alone, it was like 2.5 hours of tracking to actually get this one down. And here I could have maybe taken this shot, but there was no way I was going to risk it. I was pretty confident this was going to be the 200, if not just slightly below 200, and I had spent so many hours tracking max weight axis deer in this event at this point, only to be disappointed by the smallest, most pathetic looking axis deer you've ever seen. I even ended up shooting a 22 scoring axis deer buck, which was hilariously small, and if I remember I'll put the screenshot up on screen, because yeah, that was my axis deer luck. And then when I saw this, I was just absolutely so excited. My heart was racing. I was nervous about not being able to find it after these insanely long tracks. And finally here, I knew I must have got a decent hit into it at least, and yeah, sure enough, it was a lung shot. Now, in this event, it was recommended to go for brain or heart shots, but with something like this, I was just happy to get a lung shot into it, which would actually bring it down, and not very far away, I did actually find it bedded down, and just with a couple more shots, ended up being able to just shoot it and finish it off. But just a huge looking axis deer in comparison to everything else I'd seen in this event. The biggest I had seen up to this point was a 190, and that was, in my head when I saw it, absolutely huge. And you can see here the wound time was 1 hour and 22 minutes, and finally I had my 200 plus scoring event axis deer. Now I believe it's Abraxas for the name of these, but yeah, I just really desperately wanted one that was over 200. I didn't mind how much over 200. I set myself that goal of trying to get one that was over 200 because they were my favourite looking animal in the event. And this was the moment where I completed it, and I was just so relieved and so ecstatic to finally get this trophy on the ground. And you can see there I was actually getting charged by a hog, but thankfully the box of the trophy shot actually kept that from killing me until after I had taken the trophy shot of this animal that I had worked so incredibly hard for. So many hours in this event after one of these animals, one of these 200 plus scoring axis deer. I just can't believe I managed to get one. I'm so thrilled about that. Now, moving on to an animal that I really didn't expect to get a big one of in this event, and we have one of the event foxes here. Now, I picked up a 5 to 20 kg estimate track. Now, normally, I will get 10 to 20 kg estimate tracks, so I thought, how odd that this one is 5 to 20 kg. I'd never seen it before. I mentioned it to someone else and they said, "Hi, you should really track that. That could just be a really big one just because it's weird." And I was thinking the same thing. And I tracked it for a very long time, finally got it down, and it's my personal best red fox ever. And it's, again, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, an azuna fox from the Halloween event. I cannot believe it. These azuna foxes look absolutely incredible, but that is by far my personal best at 30.3885. I could not believe the score. As soon as I saw the weight, I was like, oh, this could be like really big, and it was. I cannot believe it, because the foxes were one of the animals in this event, similar to the ghostaroos and the abraxas, that actually weren't aggressive and would spook like normal. And with, you know, the dark environment and stuff, it was difficult to actually track them down. So, you know, getting a decent sized one of any of those in this event was a real challenge. And it ended up that those were the ones I got my sort of best trophies of overall. And I honestly could not believe what I was looking at when I saw the score for that fox. Just by far a huge fox, a huge personal best. And that's going to be going into the event lodge. To get a personal best as an event animal, to me, that's super cool. And these things look awesome. The azuna fox are really stunning with that white coloration and the red markings. And they've got almost like molten looking eyes. Really cool. It was worth the probably 2 hour long track that I spent tracking this fox before I ever got eyes on it. And yeah, I'm just super happy with how that all turned out. Honestly, I genuinely think this event was so incredibly well done by the Classic devs. I take my hat off to them. Having the entire map be dedicated to the Halloween event, with every single animal having a unique variant for the event, was absolutely fabulous. I have loved the Halloween event in Classic since I started playing the Hunter Classic, and, you know, for several years, we've just had the werewolves on Timbergold, and that's always been fun. Every time I've participated in it, having the werewolves over on Timbergold has been fun, but it would just be the werewolves. There wouldn't be any other of like special variants on the map. It would just be the werewolves. So having the entire map completely dedicated to the event with every single thing having that unique variant for you to go after, I think it was just awesome. They completely took us by surprise. There was some teasing that maybe it wasn't just going to be werewolves and that it was going to be something really special this year and something we weren't expecting. but I don't think anybody expected it to just be as awesome as it was. It was absolutely fantastic. I have had so much fun in the 2 weeks that it was running for, and I think everybody in the community had a really fun time. The missions were pretty easy, but also there was a couple of nice little challenging ones in there, so that was nice. Having the community rewards for all of us being able to kill a certain amount of these beast animals was pretty cool as well. I like the community rewards rather than it just being a single player that gets rewarded for having the highest total kills. It's quite nice when it's a community effort to get those rewards, so I definitely enjoyed that aspect about the event. There was just everything. I loved the outfit, having the full Van Helsing outfit, not just the hat. That was really cool. The outfit looks awesome, and I'm definitely probably going to use that for other stuff as well. Plus the new shotgun, the sawn-off Wolfbane shotgun. Oh, just fantastic. It was just so fantastically done. And I can't say that enough. Having events like this in a game is what will keep people coming back to your game, because you look forward for the next seasonal event. Like, I'm already looking forward to Christmas. Normally they have the Rudolph reindeer over on Hemeldal for Christmas, and if they have it exactly the same as it was last year, I'll still go and participate in it and see if I can get a bigger one. But, you know, they could do something different with it, like they did this year for Halloween, and then it takes you by surprise. It's just brilliant. Having events is brilliant, and I think everybody gets so excited about these events when they're, you know, in the lead up to them. I saw so much hype for the Halloween event, it was unreal. So it's just a great community feeling of everyone being so excited about this one specific thing that's going to last, yeah, it's only going to last 2 weeks, but we're all going to have an absolute blast, and that's what it was. Whether I was playing in single player grinding for specific trophies like the Axis deer, or whether I was in multiplayer like I did with Flinter and Kyla, and we were going around having a laugh trying to take down as many animals as possible. It was just so brilliant in every way, shape and form, and I am just so happy with how everything went, and I cannot wait for the next event. Like I said, it should be the Christmas event. Hopefully there will be a Christmas event, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they've got something different planned for that, or if it will be the same as last year. Either way, I'm definitely going to be participating in it, and I definitely am looking forward to it. But that is going to be it for this video, and of course this is going to be it for the Halloween content on the Hunter Classic, as the event is now over. It did actually finish yesterday on the 8th, and I've been waiting to make this video until the event finished so that I could have all of my best trophies in one video. So yeah, sad that it's over, but I'm super happy and grateful for how everything went. And yeah, I really hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and if you played the event, I really hope you had an awesome time as well. And just a huge thank you as always for everything you guys do. It really does mean the absolute world to me, and yeah, it's fantastic seeing all of your support. It really means so much. But that is going to be it for this video, so thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.